Hey, good morning guys. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all very well. Had a great question from one of you awesome subscribers. That question was, Joe, could you please do a video just on the Rauwolscine? The only thing that stays consistent is the grind. Keep on grinding. You guys might be aware, I say this a lot, but the reason why I say this a lot is because a lot of people ask me questions that I've already talked about in other videos. So just to save you guys time, because I can talk all day, but just to save you guys time, checking out the playlist section of this channel might give you the answer that you need. In that playlist section, when it comes to all of the supplements in this supplement corner, there's a playlist called Gorilla Mind Supplements. Gorilla Mind's the brand that I use. I love that brand. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever. Unfortunately not. Maybe one day, but at this point in time, I am not affiliated at all, so I get nothing out of this other than the fact that I know that I'm helping you guys out. And that honestly is all that I really need. Rauwolscine, let's talk a little bit about this amazing stuff from GorillaMind.com. You can get this stuff from other websites, absolutely. But I recommend going with Derek's stuff just because I trust Derek. I love Derek. We all trust and love Derek, and I think that that's the best way to go. Support him, support what he's doing. At the end of the day, he's going to give you the topmost quality that you're going to get out there. I truly believe that. So when it comes to this stuff, what is it? Why are you going to use it? Why is it so valuable? Believe me when I tell you, it's really valuable. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you want to do some cardio. Now, you go ahead and you take 4 of these A2 AM pills, right? This is just an example of something that's literally happened to me, something that will happen to me. You take 4 of these pills, you do your cardio, or let's say you're doing your bodybuilding, and you take 2 scoops of this Gorilla Mode pre-workout, right? Let's say you do that. Now, later in the day, you're tired, or you're hungry, or you're tired and hungry. But you're a champ, so you want to keep going, right? You don't want to stop there. You want to be able to do a little more cardio maybe, or just have enough energy to get throughout the day, or maybe you just don't want to eat as much, or all of those things, right? That's where this comes in. Each pill is going to give you 3 milligrams of the Rauwolscine. This stuff is going to kick your central nervous system in the pants. Don't mind me if I look a little tired. I am. I just woke up and I haven't had my caffeine yet, which is a scary thing. This stuff is going to kick you in the pants. Now, so when you want to have more appetite suppression, when you want to have more energy, and you want to be able to have all the effects of caffeine pretty much without having more caffeine, because remember, you took this earlier in the day, or you took the Gorilla Mode pre-workout earlier in the day, you may not want to have more caffeine on top of that. You may not want that, because that's a lot of caffeine already. You take this, the Rauwolscine, when you want to get caffeine-like effects without having more caffeine in your diet, because there is a daily recommended dose. I think that's 400 milligrams for the average person. I have more than that a lot of the time, but you know, that's going to come down to you, your doctor, your lifestyle, what's good for you. Remember, I'm not a doctor. You guys need to make your own choices. Now, I would be doing you guys a disservice if I told you that taking this alone was the best way to take it. The best way you can go ahead and take this, and actually they recommend this on the Gorilla Mind website, would be to combine it with the Camp PM. The reason why is because you're going to gain more fat loss if you go ahead and combine this stuff. But keep in mind, if you are taking this later in the day at any point, whether you combine this with the Camp PM or not, doesn't matter. If you ever take this, it doesn't matter. You are going to get energy. It's going to give you a ton and ton of energy, and it may actually cause you to feel edgy. The difference that I find between this and caffeine is it's going to make you feel a little bit kind of, I always use the word manic. It's going to give you a ton of like edgy energy, and I think it does a good job at giving you just enough, but personally it's a little bit too much for me in terms of, you know, like a bodybuilding aspect, so I won't take it during bodybuilding. I'll take this, or I'll take the A2AM when I'm doing my cardio. When I do bodybuilding, I very, very rarely will ever take it, because the type of energy causes me to feel a little bit unstable as far as like proper form and stuff like that. Another way that you can go ahead and take this Rauwolscine is, let's say for example, you're going to work, right? You don't want to take the A2AM, because the A2AM is a specialty formula, okay? It's got tons of caffeine, it's got tons of ingredients in it. Maybe you want to save that for your cardio only, okay? That's what I would recommend. If you're a lot of people ask me, can I take the A2AM while I'm at work? Sure, you can, but I mean, are you the mailman? Are you getting 30,000 steps a day? Because if you're not and you're sitting at a desk, well, I wouldn't recommend it, because it'll give you energy. Maybe you'll be more productive. Maybe you won't be more productive, honestly, because the Rauwolscine that's in it could cause you to feel a little bit like edgy, and maybe you're not concentrating. But that's completely up to you guys. If you're going to school or you're going to work, I would not recommend necessarily taking the A2AM, just because that's a lot of money to be spending. If you're not going to be doing cardio, you know, this stuff shines, the A2AM, it shines when you're doing cardio. So in a way to get around that, if you want to have more energy, a little more energy than what just caffeine can give you, well, you could take this. It's cheaper. You can take this and have it with a cup of coffee. And if you wanted, you can even add the Camp PM on top of it. You can do that. It's a cheaper way to get your energy. It is. So if you combine this with a cup of coffee, you're going to feel very, very good. It's not going to give you as much energy as the A2AM, but you're also saving some money, and you're probably getting just as much energy as you probably need. You're probably not going to need more than that if you're at school or if you're at work. And again, some people, this will not be a good idea to take at school or at work, because it's going to make you feel too crazy. Another thing you have to keep in mind, I mentioned that I woke up today, and I mentioned that I did not have caffeine yet, right? I'm looking forward to having a cup of coffee. I remember when I first got this, when I first got the Rauwolscine, I was amped up, right? And I didn't go to work yet, and I was like, man, I'm going to take this stuff, and I'm going to, because I would get some steps on my downtime at work, so I thought that was completely a legitimate reason to use this stuff, and it was, and it is. But when I took this, I got so much energy initially in the morning. I just woke up, didn't have any caffeine. I got so much energy in the morning, and I was like, man, this stuff is great. This is awesome. I had so much energy, I forgot to drink coffee. Now, I drink coffee every day. I have caffeine every single day. In about 2 hours after I woke up, I took this. I had all the energy in the world. I was like, whoa. But I didn't have my coffee, so I started to get a splitting headache. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, why am I getting a headache? I have all this energy. And I realized, wait, I didn't have my coffee. If you're addicted to caffeine, you still need to have your caffeine in order for you to not have the effects that the lack of caffeine are going to cause you. Those side effects, right? Because caffeine's a drug. You get addicted to that. This isn't like that. That's not going to happen with this. Like if you're somebody who normally will maybe take a pre-workout, something that has caffeine in it or something like that, and you go ahead and add this on the top, this is going to do a great job at giving you an extra boost when it comes to that energy, your power, stuff like that. So I've only seen good things. You can't say only good things. It depends on who's taking it. Even just taking it on an empty stomach compared to having food in your stomach is going to cause a difference, right? This stuff can also cause certain people anxiety, and that's why I recommend maybe not taking it if you're sitting at a desk. It can cause anxiety. It can cause, sometimes people feel nauseous. Keep that in mind. Read the directions. I mean, if you look at the back of these instructions, it's also going to tell you not to combine it with like other supplements like caffeine. It gives you that disclaimer. It tells you not to use it with other caffeinated supplements, right? First of all, this isn't caffeinated, but it tells you not to do that. But I mean, you might be thinking that this is crazy because this literally has this in it. It has the Rauwolscine in it and caffeine. So it's just a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. Listen to the instructions. You guys do what makes sense for you. I've heard that some people have taken this when they tried to quit smoking, when they've tried to come off of caffeine. It's a good way that you can go ahead and kind of substitute. Now, I'm not a doctor. Remember that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I'm just saying this has a lot of good values to it. It has a lot of good things to it. In the way that I take it for the fat burning, the energy and stuff like that. But this does have a lot of good to it. Do some research on it, check it out. In the context that we're talking about it, it's for cardio or bodybuilding to give you that extra edge, and it will do that. It definitely will. Keep in mind, depending on who you are, depending on whether you take it on an empty stomach or not, it can cause you to feel different ways. You might get anxiety, you might not. You might feel nauseous, you might not. Maybe you just have to take it a couple times and kind of get used to that feeling, because your body will get used to it, all right? So I hope that this helps, guys. I hope you guys do appreciate this. Remember, guys, don't deviate from, don't just listen to me. Do your own research. Check out what the bottle says on the back. I recommend you guys listening to the instructions. I'm definitely not a doctor. I just know from my personal experience what works with me. You guys should learn what works with you. If you look at any of these supplements, any of the supplements that I take, every single supplement tells you to taper up. First of all, it tells you to follow the instructions. Next of all, it tells you to taper up and learn your tolerance. That's something that when I was younger, I didn't really care too much about, but I recommend you guys actually doing that. And the reason why is because the less of this stuff you can take, the better for you. Because when you truly need this stuff, it's gonna shine when you take a little bit more than what you usually take. If you just jump into taking the maximum dose of any of this stuff all the time, it's gonna work less when you really, really need it. Like if you get 8 hours of sleep, for example, and then you go ahead and you take the A2 AM and you jump on the treadmill or whatever, yeah, it's gonna give you a ton more energy on top of the 8 hours that you slept. But if you do that every single day for a week, for example, right? And now all of a sudden you wake up and you only got 4 hours of sleep because you were completely exhausted, and then you took the max dose of the A2 AM, it is not going to work as good because your body has become tolerant to it. So if you just take 1 or 2 pills on the daily when you're going to do your cardio, and you get 8 hours of sleep, and that gives you all that energy to do what you need to do, the day that you only got 4 hours of sleep and you still want to do your cardio, and then you go ahead and you take the max dose of the A2 AM, it's going to make you feel like you got 8 hours of sleep. So that's the way your body works. Your body's constantly regulating, your body's constantly getting used to things. Try to take these tools, in my opinion, as little as possible in order to achieve the feeling that you need, in order to get through the goal that you want to attain. All right, I hope this video is helpful. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. Have a great day. Be safe. Catch you guys later.